All right, buckle up because we are diving deep into Enchantment by Tesla D. Murbox today. You know, those excerpts, I gotta say, I'm hooked. Magic, sorcery, the power of the mind. Intriguing stuff.
Knew you'd be into this one. But before we start handing out wands, got to remember we're just exploring the ideas in the book, not saying it's all like 100% factual.
Right, of course. But I mean, just those first few chapters, basic needs, direct manipulation by touch. Come on. That's got to pique your curiosity, right? Like the Murbox is giving us a peek behind some hidden curtain or something.
And the thing is, he focuses on this visceral magic thing, not about rote memorization or anything.
Yeah.
It's connecting with your gut, your intuition.
Yeah.
That feeling when something just rings true, like harnessing that to make things happen.
Okay, now that sends shivers down my spine. Like that saying, the magic's not in the wand, it's within you.
Exactly. Almost like he's saying, hey, you've already got the power, now let's figure out how to use it. And he ties it to strong emotions a lot. Makes me think of the placebo effect, actually. You believe something strongly enough can have a real impact,
Hold on, you're saying my mind can, like, conjure up real results? Now we're talking. This reminds me, there's that whole section, Mojo Bag Opens the Way.
That's accurate.
Is it basically like making your intention into a physical thing? A bag of good vibes, so to speak?
Pretty much. He gives instructions and all, but it's more than just throwing stuff in a bag. It's the picking each thing, giving it meaning. That whole process kickstarts the energy, right?
Yeah.
Bit like anchoring techniques some NLP folks use, using senses to trigger certain states. And of course, can't talk mojo bags without mentioning hoodoo, all those traditions.
This is what I'm talking about. Blending ancient stuff with modern psychology. Mojo bags 1 minute, setting intentions for my week the next. But okay, gotta ask about direct manipulation by touch. That chapter, voluntary induction by touch, involuntary induced trance, sounds intense. Is he talking pressure points? What's the deal?
Okay, so strap in, because D. Murbox links those techniques to manipulating prana, basically life force energy, through touch. He's saying our bodies are always exchanging this energy, and with focus, you can mess with that flow, like Reiki or therapeutic touch. Ever tried those? They're working with that idea, touch for healing, balance, all that.
I've actually done Reiki, super relaxing. Never thought of it as like manipulating energy, though.
Right, and that brings up ethics, which D. Murbox is really upfront about. Messing with someone's head, their emotions, without their okay is a big no-no. He makes that clear. Just because you could do something doesn't mean you should,
Yeah.
Got to think about how our actions, even what we're thinking, affects other people.
So true. Consent matters, even in the world of enchantment. Right. Okay, lighter note before we go too deep down the ethics rabbit hole. Manipulation through gesture. That sounds both cool and kind of spooky. Like, are we talking Jedi mind tricks here?
Not quite Jedi level, but he gets into these magnetic passes, basically hand movements to direct energy. Sounds out there, I know, but he breaks down 3 main types. Circles for calming, waves for influencing, and inward motions for drawing things towards you. Even gives instructions on practicing them.
Hold up, so if I perfect my circle motions, I'll be the Zen master of my friends, chilling everyone out with a wave. I'm down. But seriously, is there any real-world link to this hand energy stuff, or is it all just, magical thinking?
Think of it this way. We all know how strong nonverbal communication can be. Body language, a touch, even just how you stand changes how things feel, right? These magnetic passes might be about doing that on purpose, realizing even small movements have power.
Okay, that makes sense. Like sending a signal, even if you don't mean to.
Exactly. Being aware of the energy we put out there, whether we realize it or not. But, Murbox doesn't shy away from the, let's say, more glamorous side of enchantment either. He's got that whole section on glamour and persuasion. What caught your eye there?
Yeah, the whole glamour thing, that's got to be more than just looking good, right? Is it like making illusions or more about how people see you? There's that moon gaze for attracting desire. That sounds kind of hypnotic.
You're onto something there. It's not about literally changing your appearance, more like shaping perception, I guess. D. Murbox. He says glamour is this subtle influence, changes how others see you, or even a whole situation. Not smoke and mirrors, more like nudging the energy,
Okay, that'd be handy, like making a good first impression or getting someone on your side. But how's that connect to persuasion then? If glamour is this energy thing, are we back to mind control?
Not mind control, but it does tie into what he was saying before about intention, belief, all that. He links persuasion to NLP. That's all about using language suggestion to kind of guide thoughts and actions.
So it's more about understanding how we communicate, using words AE energy to steer the conversation. Like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Bingo. It's the energy behind it all, the intention you're putting out. Remember, invoking wishes. Aligning yourself with what you want, then broadcasting that out.
Right. Not just wishing on a star, but putting it a UT there, like drawing it to you. But
Right.
that makes me think, ethically speaking, if we can influence how people act, think, where's the line?
Good question. And D. Murbox, he addresses that head on. Actually warns against misusing this stuff, especially curses, harmful manipulation. Just because you can influence doesn't mean you should.
Big. With great power. Vibes right there. Applies to magic, but really to life in general. So, ethically speaking, if we're going to dabble in enchantment, how do we protect ourselves from bad vibes?
Another good one, and he gives some tips. Talks about visualization, like picturing this shield of energy around you
Right.
and calling on like patron deities, guardian spirits, that kind of thing.
Interesting how those defenses, they kind of use the same principles as enchantment itself, right? Intention, belief, energy. It's like building your own internal defenses against bad energy.
You got it. Speaks to that whole empowerment thing Diane Box keeps talking about. You got agency, you can shape your own reality, but got to use it right. Speaking of energy, you had a question about that last chapter, Magic and Charm of Trees, right?
I did. That one felt different from the rest of the book. How'd you see it all connecting? Yeah, like we're going from mojo bags and hand gestures
Yeah.
to trees. How does that fit in?
Well, think about trees, right? They've got this ancient energy, grounded, strong, across so many cultures. They're like symbols of wisdom, even magic. The Murbox is tapping into that, saying by connecting with trees, we connect with something deeper in ourselves.
So it's not just about like hugging a tree and hoping for the best, though I'm not against that. It's about the energy they have and how we tap into it.
Yeah. Remember all that visualization stuff he talks about? Imagine a tree, roots deep in the earth, pulling up strength. That's the kind of energy we can access when we're open to nature.
Wow, that's a powerful image, I'll give you that. And it makes you realize in our busy lives, we kind of forget about nature, huh? Maybe that's why this chapter stands out. Like he's saying, hey, ground yourselves, reconnect with that old power source.
Exactly. Easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, forget there's a whole world out there. Maybe enchantment isn't just the specific stuff, but about finding that wonder again, connecting to something bigger.
Love that. Like, we've all got this magical potential, but got to be open to it, actually seek it out. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the big takeaways from enchantment for you? What really hit home?
It comes back to intention, belief, energy. Those three things, whether it's mojo bags, gestures, or just getting out in nature. Dharma Murbox is saying, WE shape our reality. It's about finding that inner magic and using it right, ethically.
Beautifully put. Like that quote, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So enchantment is like a guide to building those habits. Intention, belief, good energy, all that. One last thing before we go. Any final thought for our listeners? Something to ponder as they go out there, enchanting the world.
How about this? If you had to pick one thing from enchantment to really focus on, something you could live by, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. Going straight into my journal later. This has been amazing exploring enchantment with you. And to everyone listening, remember, magic isn't just wands and spells. It's in all of us. Until next time, keep those intentions high and those vibes magical.